sample of 120 has a sample proportion of 0.55. We want to find the following: a 90% confidence interval, a 95% confidence interval, a 99% confidence interval, and what do we notice as the confidence level increases? Well, we're going to need the standard deviation for each of these. So that's going to be the square root of 0.55 times 0.45, which is 1 take away 0.55, and divide by 120. So let's see what that comes to. So I've got the square root of 0.55 times 0.45 divided by 120, and that gives me 0.0454. Okay, now for the first one, we want the z-score for 90. Various ways that we can find that. For example, we could go to the E-activity and do the z-score for CI. I want a confidence level 0.9 and solve, and it's 1.645. Okay, so my confidence interval is going to be 0.55 take away 1.645 times 0.0454, and then 0.55 add 1.645 times 0.0454. So what does that give me? So let's bring the calculator back in, and we'll have 0.55 take away 1.645 multiplied by the standard deviation, and then we'll have the same thing just with a plus in the middle. And so that's 0.475 up to 0.625. We can also do this using the E-activity and confidence interval for proportion. We look at the information at the top though, it's not quite set up for us. So what we really need to do is work out how many things were in this sample to give us a proportion of 0.55. So 0.55 times 120 is 66. So saying that for a sample of 120 we had a sample proportion of 0.55 is the same as saying there were 66 out of 120. So if I do that here and say that there were 66 out of 120, and I want a 90% confidence interval, and let's just change it to decimal and run that again. And you see that we get 0.475 to 0.625, the same as we got before. So I'm going to use the activity to find the 95% and the 90%. So all I need to do is change that to 0.95, and it's going to give me 0.461 to 0.639. And then for the 99% confidence interval, just go back there, and that's 0.433 and 0.667. Of course, what we could have done was, so for example, for the 0.95, we could have found the z-score as 1.96, and going back to main, all we need to do is change this value to 1.96, and it should give us the same sort of thing we had here. So 0.461, and the same thing here. So there's more than one way of doing these things. 0.639. So basically it gets wider is what's happened. Look at the values. So the first one, if we say that's 475 to 625, the next one is 461 to 639, and the next one is outside of that as well. So it's getting wider. And you'd expect that because our confidence is going up. If we're interested in the confidence that it's between 2 points, in order to get more area here, you have to go out wider in the distribution.